Welcome to the third edition of Inside the Huddle, the show where we take you beyond the game and into the lives of Alcorn State student athletes. I'm your host, Franklin Rogers, and each episode we'll get up close and personal, talking sports, struggles, and stories that make our athletes who they are both on and off the field. Today I am accompanied by Miss Senior.
Good.
Please introduce yourself to the fans out here.
Hello, everyone. I am Jemiah Cotton, a senior mass communications major. I play softball, and I'm from Madison, Mississippi.
That's awesome. You were the first softball person to have on this team and the first person from Mississippi. So, first question, I guess we'll just get into it. What was the first time you picked up a softball bat? The first memory you picked up a softball bat, and how do you think that inspired you to eventually playing collegiate athletics?
So I started playing softball when I was 4 years old. From a very young age,
Wow.
I played t-ball. I grew up playing all-star. Then eventually I went to travel ball, and just playing it throughout my elementary years, high school years. I just knew that being an athlete was something that I wanted to continue to do because I had been active my entire life. So collegiate was the next level. So it was just something that I really wanted to
Right.
do. And I know that collegiate level sports can, give you scholarships and different things. And I knew that I didn't want to have to play for school, and I was good enough to be on someone's team. So college athletics was the way to go.
Yeah, so growing up in Mississippi or playing high school sports in Mississippi, is softball a fall or a spring sport?
So softball is a spring sport in Mississippi.
Okay.
During the fall, they actually have slow pitch, but the high school that I went to, while I was there, we never played slow pitch.
Right. So you played travel and you played high school at the same time growing up?
Yes, and
Okay.
during the fall was more the time that I would play more travel softball.
Right.
But then during the spring, because I did have school ball, we would every so often have tournaments, but it wasn't as often as in the fall.
Okay. So obviously, as an athlete myself, I played football, basketball, baseball. I played, high school basketball and travel basketball, but with football, it's kind of like you can just play
Yeah.
just school football. You say, growing up your entire life, you're playing at a high level of softball. What do you feel like has best prepared you to be a collegiate athlete? Do you think the high school realm, the things, high school sports and all the things that kind of come with, I'm on a high school softball team, or do you think maybe the high level of competitiveness that comes with being on a travel softball team? What do you think has best helped you to get this level?
So I came from a pretty good high school, Madison Central High School.
Okay.
So honestly, I think it's both because Madison Central has had some really good athletes come out. A lot of the girls have gone to Jones, Colin. They have won a lot of JUCO national championships, and
Oh, wow.
some of them even went to like Southern Miss. So they have had girls that play on the next level. Whereas with softball, I actually played with, I think, about like 3 teams, and one of the teams was actually out of Texas, and it's called Hot Shots, and it's a very big like organization. So they give the girls a lot of exposure, and a lot of the girls that I started out playing softball with younger, they have moved on to be D1 athletes, and quite a few of them are actually Power 5. So I definitely think it's a little bit of both,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna have to say if I had to pick one, it's definitely select.
Yeah. I feel that. Well, I think maybe select sports is just, it's more you handpick who you want. I
Yeah.
think that's maybe me just helped me prepare to just the athletics part, the football part of it. But I think I do miss just the high school sports.
Yeah.
I think maybe playing high school sports and playing in the gymnasium in front of your friends and family and things like that. I think that helped me be a better teammate. I think that helped me be an overall better person. But when you got to play at the level that we play at, I think playing travel sports is what a lot of kids, the route they went down. What is so you said you were out of Texas. What's the farthest you traveled for one game or a tournament?
For a tournament, we went to Oklahoma City. Yeah.
That's a minute
We
away.
drove.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So y'all have been a little bit. You go to Atlanta for
Yeah.
tournaments. I know you went to Atlanta
Yeah.
last spring. Y'all had a tournament there with all the HBCU schools. Wow. So you said you're a senior.
Yes.
This is your last year eligibility.
Yes.
So you got spring. Who's y'all's senior day in the spring?
I'm not sure.
It's probably swag school.
Yeah.
So as someone who, my senior day was in 2 weeks, and I look back on my time here at Alcorn, my entire collegiate career. Come springtime, which is it's quickly approaching,
Yes.
you're going to be out there, arm in arm with your family, and taking pictures on senior day. In that moment, what do you think you're going to say to yourself as far as how far have I seen myself grow, not just as an athlete, but as a person since joining the team?
I think I'm going to tell myself, I did it, I made it, I survived 4 years of college
Hmm.
softball, being an athlete and battling, academics, my extracurricular activities, on top of being committed to softball and doing all of this. I
Yeah.
feel like I'm going to be very emotional because that will be my last time ever playing in a collegiate game, or, I mean, outside of SWAC championship or the SWAC tournament. But um, that's going to be like my last regular season game. So I do feel
Yeah.
like it's going to be very bittersweet because I haven't had anything else to do in my life but play
Yeah.
sports.
I feel that.
So
You talk about, obstacles of having to become a student athlete, going to class, going to practice, being on the road, all the things that, is so demanding of our schedule. Kind of going off of that, what do you think has been the biggest challenge you've faced in your athletic career, whether it be here at Alcorn or just the entirety of being a softball player? And how do you think you overcome it?
So my biggest challenge, I would definitely have to say, was me getting hurt my freshman year. Um, I've never been like seriously injured, and I really don't even call this serious. I mean, it was an injury. I did have to go through surgery. This was my first time ever going through surgery as well. But just the rehab and trying to get back to the athlete that I was before I got injured was very challenging to me because I've never had to do anything like that. And to this day, I still kind of have problems with my knee. I tore my meniscus, so it's kind of, you know, it's never really going to be the same, but you just have to figure out ways to maneuver and try to get back to where you were before that happened. So yeah, I will say that may be the biggest obstacle that I've had to overcome while being an athlete or just while being here.
Hmm.
That was very challenging for me.
For sure. Softball it's all about teamwork. I think that softball is one of the few sports that, you need everyone to win as far as, you got batting, you got offense and defense kind of all in the same thing. What about being a part of just such a close-knit team and a close-knit, really community, just being here, being a Brave? I think we can tell that everyone's super close with each other. We're on top of each other as much as we want to, admit it or not admit it. I think that we do spend all the time together. Most of us are roommates. Most of us eat lunch together. We live together. We practice together. That can be, I get that's annoying. Everyone wants their own space, but what are the positive things about being part of that have taught you about leadership and collaboration that is going to take you post grad?
So, just being a part of such a close knit team and just being in this family oriented environment, it has really just taught me just like how to deal with people and their different personalities, and I don't know, just learning different people and learning ways to, build relationships with people regardless of where they come from
Yeah.
or their background. So
Hmm.
I don't know. Everybody's just like one big happy family, and especially my team. We don't meet a stranger. We're very close, very encouraging. We love each other down. So it hasn't been hard for me to be able to express myself or anything to them.
Yeah. Have you feel like you've made some pretty close friendships? I feel like the women that you will one day consider, the aunties to your children or your
Yes.
bridesmaid or like
Yes.
sisters, even though they're not, technically your sister. Is that because of softball?
Yes, and just we hang out outside of softball.
Hmm. For
So
sure.
outside of us being teammates, we're also friends. So I think that's something big. I know a lot of some teams, you may be teammates on the field, or some people just tolerate their teammates, but I feel like we actually have relationships with each other outside of softball, and we connect outside of softball. So that's also what helps our
For
chemistry
sure.
on and off
I
the
hope that
field.
translates into the spring.
I do too. I really do too.
Being a student athlete is challenging most of the time. How do you balance it all? Like, I just want to know from, one athlete to another. I got kind of things that I do and, things that I try not to procrastinate on, or alarms I set during the times of my day to kind of, get things situated with not only academics, but also athletics. What is your strategy for staying organized?
My strategy for staying organized,
Not the most organized, I will say that, but
yeah, I'm really not. Like, I'm just kind of like a go with the flow type girl.
yeah,
Like, I know when I wake up every morning what I have to do.
yeah,
But then again, you have things that come up and
yeah.
you're not able to do
That's what that's what
immediately.
procrastinators usually say.
Yeah, so I can agree that I may be just a tad bit of a
Just a little bit,
procrastinator,
just a little bit. That's okay.
but
You get the work done though.
yeah, I do get the work done. But whether it's on time or not, I'm gonna get it done.
So you just say, just get it done.
Yes.
She's gonna find a way to get it done. There's no rhyme or reason, but
Yeah.
you're gonna make sure you walk across that stage
Yes.
here in the next couple of semesters.
That part.
I get that. Okay, so you're clearly committed to your sport. You're, committed to the academics. But how do you see your academic career unfolding? It's hard to, and I've had this conversation with my friends, and I'm sure if I was in your position, you were interviewing me. It's as two people that are seniors, and we're starting to have this conversation of jobs and employment, and what are we going to do post grad? You know, like what do you see? I mean, for me, it's hard to be like, okay, like I've put my identity in football for so long. Football's kind of paved the way for me for so long. And I think it's been like that for so many athletes. But as a softball player and as someone who is graduating here soon, I'm sure you've thought about that. What do you, what are your goals beyond the field?
So beyond the field, I really would like to work in sports marketing and communications, but I also know that I have to start somewhere. So aside of just going right into the sports industry, I've been trying to just apply for internships that are just simply just marketing and communications, and just see where I'm going to go from there. I've come to the realization that the spring is approaching very fast.
Very fast.
So just networking and taking advantage of every opportunity that I have. I procrastinated about that, but now I've kind of come to the conclusion like it's time now. We need to figure out what we want to do. I know I'm no longer playing softball anymore, so it's time for me to, figure out what my next step is going to be. So I've just been applying. I've been applying for different positions, networking with different people. Actually, when we went to the Southern Heritage Classic, we visited FedEx. The Royal Corps visited FedEx, and I was able to network with a couple of people at
awesome.
FedEx.
I know they were sponsored by FedEx. Is that where? Does anyone know? Is that where
Yes, the corporate office is in Memphis. So we actually
Okay, I
visited
figured.
the corporate office.
That's
and
awesome.
I was able to talk to some higher ups or
Yeah.
some very important people there. And so I'm just trying to see where that's going to take me.
Yeah.
I've been connecting with them. I applied for an internship there. And yeah, just seeing what opportunity presents itself and just being ready for whatever.
So you being from Madison, FedEx, Memphis, do you see yourself in this part of the country or the state of Mississippi once you graduate, or as long as it's a good job and it's it kind of there's enough green lights, I guess, would you move anywhere?
So yes, if it's a good job, and I mean, in the long run, I don't want to live in Mississippi, but you have to start somewhere. So if a good job presents itself in Mississippi, I would definitely take it. But if I were to be offered the job in Memphis, I would definitely move there. So I'm really just kind of going with whatever
Right.
is best for me.
Hoping it falls in your lap.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. Throughout this time, which is not easy for us. Is there anyone in particular, whether it's a coach, family, friend, whether someone that's on staff at this university, do you feel like there's just been one person that has influenced you positively throughout your career?
I'm going to have to say my mom.
Yeah.
My mom is a single mother, and it's just me and her, but she literally keeps me encouraged about everything because she knows all the stuff that I have to do daily. So just her calling me every day, asking me about softball, making sure that I have everything that I need for every weekend, whether it's Warrior Court or softball.
Yeah.
She definitely keeps me encouraged and making sure that I stay on top of, even my academics. So while I've been here in my 4 years, there have been a lot of people that have been very influential for me, but I cannot count my mom
Your
out.
mom,
Because,
yeah, it's got to be your mom.
yeah, she just...
You be on the phone with your mom quite a bit.
Yeah,
Sometimes, your phone be out. I'd be sitting, I'm like, this is like the fourth time her mom's called her in like the last hour.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Shout out to all the moms.
Yes. Yeah.
Mom and Dad, we appreciate you. We thank you. without parents, especially as athletes. And I think I don't know if you know Kenny Dozier. He's a long snapper. He was on episode 1 of the show, and we had kind of talked about the importance of dads and how like most of our coaches for like t-ball were dads.
Yeah.
Most of the dads are
For sure.
dads and uncles. So I think that now it's on the flip side. It's like I think way to have a moment to recognize all the moms out there, because especially all the single moms. I have a bunch of teammates that were raised by their moms and their grandmas and their aunts and sisters, and that's a huge deal. And that's awesome that you give her the praise, because I'm sure that she's so proud of you and the things that you're doing.
Yeah, that lady don't miss a game.
Man, shout out Miss Jemiah Senior, Miss Cotton. I'll give you one last question though. I don't want to sit here and talk for too long, but looking ahead, where you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years, outside of life of softball.
Okay, so in the next 5 to 10 years, like I said, I do plan to be working in the sports industry. I want to work, hopefully, for an NFL football team, working in
That's
their
awesome.
marketing department, helping them grow their brand, get their athletes out there.
Yeah.
But on the side, I've kind of found a love for like helping kids. So maybe even having a select softball team.
Yeah.
Like the
Would you
coaches-
coach? Would you like? What if
Yeah,
it?
yeah, I would possibly have a select team or help coach a select
Yeah.
team, because that's something that I've also,
Do like a nonprofit or
Yeah.
like a
yeah,
That's cool.
something that I'd be interested in. So we'll just see where life takes me.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm looking forward to it. Well, this is it. Episode 3 of Inside the Huddle. Miss Cotton, I appreciate you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
And guys, until next time, thanks for coming on.